Hello Voltheads, you are watching the self-proclaimed, sarcastically named Captain KeyForge, also known as PJ Broughton of the Steel City Snufflegators. And now it's time for the fourth game of the King of the Monsters series. It's going to be Ultra Gravitron going first again, and we are taking on a Horseman deck. It's not the best Horseman deck, it's pretty average. But it's got decent amber control, decent artifact control, decent board control. The thing it's lacking really is amber generation. But if it gets a board down and stays down, it will do alright. And with a Rise, Screaming Cave, you have got a bit of way to get a large disc board there. Also as well, you can sort of recycle your Sanctum Horsemen, should make for an interesting match against the three gigantic creature decks, and as I said, it's going to be Ultra Gravitron first, and it's thanks to Simon again, because it's Simon from the Snufflegators who's going to be piloting the Horseman deck. I will be going first. It's a bit of a tough one for me now. I mean, Auto Encoder is a good shout for a turn one, but equally I'm thinking if I get a Niffle down and it survives, we could actually trigger Bumblebird and get some extra power tokens down from it. So I've been a bit cheeky, and instead of going for the Auto Encoder on turn one, I've put down the Niffle. So Simon's gone into the Tentacus, he's played the Charette. Played a Snudge, which is quite a decent start, because even if I kill those, they're going to end up in the discard. Arise hasn't come out, he'll be able to Arise them back. My best hope is to get Ultra Gravitron onto the field and start purging them. We have, obviously, as you can see, got half of Ultra Gravitron there, but again, I've got a live Niffle there that I can put 2 power counters onto, and then I can get rid of a creature. Looking at those, really, the one that's got the best ability at the moment is the Snudge. So, bearing in mind it's got a Reap, return a flank creature or artifact hand, I'm going to take out that Snudge, and then I'm going to pass the turn, and then we'll see what Simon's going to play on his turn 2. Again, we've got the Wild Spirit upgrade, still got the 3 logos cards, got the Vault Keeper as well, but yeah, I mean, it may even be worth getting a little bit of extra value from the Untamed Creatures, or possibly go on to the logos. It all depends what comes down. Simon's gone on to Sanctum, he's played Gorm of Orm, then he's played Champion Tabaris, and then played a Raiding Knight, which usually would capture as nothing to capture at the moment. Played a Grey Monk as well, and that is a real decent looking board to begin with there. So 5 creatures now, 2 Dis, 3 Sanctum, and none of the 4 Horsemen either. Again, I'm a bit hesitant to go into logos, because I can put down the Auto Encoder, I can put down the Munchling, but I'd have to discard the bottom half of the Ultra Gravitron. So I played the Wild Spirit there onto the Niffle. I've reaped with the Niffle, and I've reaped with the Bumblebird just to get a bit of amber generation going, because essentially the point with the Ultra Gravitron deck is it's going to win by outracing. It has not got much amber control, the Ultra Gravitron deck, at all, so it needs really to kind of be ahead permanently at all times, otherwise it's going to lose unless the Dark Fairies come down and I manage to get some amber generation out of the Dark Fairies. Now we've got the split hand with the 3 and 3, but that's not too bad, it's much better than 2-2-2. So Simon's gone for a Vigor, he's healed the Niffle Ape and gained amber because of that, and then he's going to play Lost in the Woods, which will return my 2 Untamed Creatures back into my deck. And he's got rid of his own Charette and Champion Tabaris. I mean, Charette's a good shout to put back into your deck. It didn't have 3 there. Basically, you want it to capture 3 when it comes down, otherwise it's not really doing a lot. And now pretty much at any stage in the game, other than straight after I forged the key, there should be something there for it to capture from now on. Let's see if he's got any further retain cards to play, maybe any creatures, anything like that. The Gorm of Orm is looking good at the moment because it's got the potential to get rid of that auto-encoder. You know, it's down, it's ready, it's going to do a job on something, with it being an Omni artifact. Then Simon's put down a Niffle Ape and another Niffle Ape as well, so again, a 5 creature board. So yeah, so now I've gone to the Sanctum. I'm trying to fish the Gorm of Orm out. I've put down the Potion of Invulnerability, put down the Vault Keeper so my Amber can't be stolen, put down Squire Alice and capture 2. Obviously I'm going to be passing the turn there, but yeah, with any luck that'll sort of draw the Gorm of Orm into taking off that Potion of Invulnerability before I get any sort of real use from it by sacking it and doing a lot of fighting. So yeah, I mean, the Gorm of Orm can be sacked at any time. He's got a disc creature down as well, so Simon's gone for this. Maybe he's got the Arise, so he's played Hysteria, so that'll return every creature to hand. And then he's played the Tentacus back down again. Now he's playing Arise, so that's going to bring back the Snudge but not the Charette, because the Charette went back into the deck. And it's going to play down the Snudge. See if he's got anything else. Still got a hand of 8, but obviously Hysteria. And then he's passed the turn. Now, looks like we're finally going to get Ultra Gravitron out here, so if I play Logos, we can get some cards in the archive and start doing some work with Ultra Gravitron. So I'm just deciding who's going to get the 2 damage and who's going to get the 1 damage off that diametric charge. There we go, so that's played it. Played the auto-encoder there. Now we're playing a diametric charge. There we go, and finally, here he comes for the first time. Go, Power Rangers! There we go, the Ultra Gravitron's gone down, and then we've played Munchling down as well. Those are the cards we've got in the archive. Couple of Niffle Apes, Savage Class, which is a nice board wiper, Burning Glare as well. I mean, the Niffle Apes are not bad because you're not purging from your archive as well, you're just throwing into discard. The main thing there is I'm thinking he could maybe Snudge to get rid of Ultra Gravitron. It is on the flank, but it's returning it to my hand. Presumably it's going to return both cards to my hand, meaning when I play them again I'm going to put another 5 cards into my archive. So he's gone for Untamed Simon this time. He's put down the Niffle 8, Ritual of Balance, Witch of the Eye. Witch of the Eye is a nice creature. Every time we reap we're going to claim something back. So again, that board is building. So yeah, I'm not we've got Lethological in there as well. I mean, I'm not claiming that archive. I think the best thing to be doing here is playing the Logos and then doing a bit of board clear. So Munchling's got Skirmish, so I can fight with Munchling. That'll kill the Witch of the Eye, and I can get rid of Lethologica to gain 1 off the fight, which will put me into check. Then Ultra Gravitron is a fight reap ability, so if I reap with Ultra Gravitron, that'll get me to 7, and then I can get rid of, I've gone for the Burning Glare, and I've got rid of the Snudge, because I'm worried about it returning artifacts as well as Ultra Gravitron, so that's why I've purged the Snudge there. I went for the Burning Glare because it stuns all mutants or 1 creature, and again, I'm playing Call of the Archons. I don't think there's a single mutant in that deck, so and that's why I chose to discard the Burning Glare and keep the Niffles for the moment. but again, it's just a very powerful ability, the whole discard a card out of the archive and purge one of your opponent's creatures out of play. I mean, there are some particular cards in here as well that you'd really like to purge out of the game. The Horseman that recalls all the other Horsemen from your discard pile to your hand. That would be a nice target for that. I mean, Shula, look at that. Play Steal one. I mean, to be fair, we've already had the Arise, so it's not, and we've already had Hysteria as well, so I don't expect it to come back anytime soon, but certainly there's a potential for it to come back later on in the game. So I've still managed to forge the key there, forging for 6 after Shula's stolen, but Simon's not going to be long off my heels before he gets to forge a key as well. So we've got the Niffle 8 and Niffle 8 Savage Clash. I'm thinking that Savage Clash could be quite important, so I'm going to leave that Savage Clash as that's going to be the card I discard last. I mean, yes, obviously, as it says, you kill everything of your opponents, but the strongest creature and you kill the weakest of your own. But still, I could have something else with that. I mean, you look at this deck as well as the Savage Clash, there's a Lost in the Woods. Well, that could get rid of the other creature. So I've gone for logos again. Again, the Ultra Gravitron, I can read with it and get rid of one of those creatures. I'm just deciding whether or not I want to be fighting with the Munchling. But I've gone for the Reap because there's not a logos card in the archive to get rid of, to be fair. So there we go, I've gone for Ultra Gravitron, Reap with it, got rid of a Niffle Ape, and then I've purged the Shula because I don't want it stealing my Amber anymore when I've got 4 or more, and then I've passed the turn. So, I mean, we're at turn 7 and I've got 1 key, 2 Amber. Simon's just about to forge his first key, so to be fair, neither of these decks are particularly motoring along at a massive speed at the moment. But Simon's gone into Untamed again. He's playing down the Niffle Queen, which is going to buffer those 2 apes. He's Reap with one of them. Presumably going to Reap with the other, I imagine. Maybe fight to get rid of the Munchling. I mean, the fight, skirmish, game 1, if you discard a card, is quite good, but it's not amazing. And then he's played Nocturnal Maneuver, which presumably going to exhaust Ultra Graviton and Munchling. There we go. So now I'm just looking at that Purify. Purge your mutant creature if you do discard cards until you get to a creature and put the creature in play. It's a bit of a unusual one, and it's only going to work at the moment on Munchling. It's the only card down in play that is mutant. I'm looking at the Untamed and Lost in the Woods and 2 Resurgences with only 1 Untamed creature in discard is not great. Obviously I can't go into logos because I've got no logos in hand, and everything down on the field that's logos is exhausted. So probably looking like here it's time to go into the Sanctum again. Simon's done well to get to the 8 there because obviously with Squire Alice in hand, capture 2, and he knows I've got that because it's in my hand because of Hysteria. So that was a good shout, getting to 8. And then we'll put the Vault Keeper down as well. We'll play Purify. We'll get rid of that exhausted Munchling. There's a mistake. I didn't spot the capture on the Munchling, and that capture could have gone anywhere else and stopped Simon forging the key. I could have put it, for instance, on the Q-Mex. I mean, the Q-Mex would have go down quickly, but you kind of want it to go down, sort of go into your archive. So yeah, mistake there from me with the capture icon. Literally put the capture on the creature that I've just purged. So yeah, that's going to pass the turn. Simon's going to forge his key. Now, does he go back into Untamed, or... And we've gone for Sanctum, so we've played Take Hostages, so when he fights he's going to capture. Then he's played Champion and Affiel. I tell you what, if he's got the Horseman in hand that lets you fight with every ready creature, this is going to be a big turn in terms of capturing and getting rid of creatures off my board. So let's see. Then he's played a Raiding Knight. Then he's used the Golden Reform to get rid of the auto encoder. He's played the Grey Monk, he's played the Horsemen of War, which allows all friendly creatures to fight this turn. So now we're going to get 4 ready friendly creatures to fight. So Niffle Queen's captured 1 after fighting off Squire Alice, which has got his 2 back, and captured 1 of mine onto Niffle Queen. And then we've just used that Niffle Ape, and Niffle Ape's fought the Vault Keeper. Because of the power buff, that's killed the Vault Keeper, and again it's captured 1 onto Niffle Ape. He can either put some significant damage into Ultra Gravitron, but I'm not sure he can kill it now. He can certainly get rid of that Q-Mex though, and put it back into my archive. So he's fought the Tentacus into Ultra Gravitron, and then he's fought the Niffle Ape into Ultra Gravitron. Well, Savage Clash time, isn't it, really? We've kept that Savage Clash in archive. I've got 1 creature on the board, which is power 1, which is staying alive. And then I basically take out everything bar 1 creature of my opponents. Also as well, then I can Lost in the Woods to put the Q-Mex back into my deck and to get rid of my opponent's final creature. So it's looking a good one now. We'll call the Untamed, we'll draw the archive, play Savage Clash, Lost in the Woods, clear the board, get all that captured amber back. So there's a Savage Clash. As I say, Lost in the Woods now. And get rid of both those creatures. And as well, that's not a bad thing for Q-Mex, because again, he's back in the deck. I'll draw him. When I play him, I'll draw another card. So now, what do we do? Do we use Resurgence for untamed creatures? Or I'm thinking I'm going to be cheeky and I'm going to Resurgence Ultra Gravitron, because I've got 2 of them. And despite the fact that he's not a mutant, 2 of them will bring both halves back. If it was Niffle Ape, I'd only need 1, obviously, but 2 of them bring both halves back. So there we go. We've cleared the board. I've got a creature down, and I've got Ultra Gravitron back in hand to play and put another 5 cards into my archive and start doing his shenanigans with him again. Because while, to be fair, he hasn't gone down in 3 games so far, looks like there's a good chance to get him down twice in this one now, and help even those numbers up a bit. So we're on to turn 9 now, and again, lovely, tight, interesting game. 2 keys each, 4 amber to 3, sort of swinging back and forth. Basically, whoever's just played seems to just be slightly ahead, and really anybody's game and very close. And yeah, it's a good fun game so far, swinging back and forth. So Simon's gone for the Dis. He's played Pandemonium to force Niffle Ape to capture 1 from my side. Then he's played Gateway to Dis to kill the Niffle Ape. He's played Succubus, played Lash of Broken Dreams. So that's 2 quite good artifacts in terms of amber control artifacts. 1 will steal 1 will increase my key cost to 9. And I haven't got a way to kill artifacts in this deck. So they're staying there. They're going to have to be played around for the rest of the game. So I've decided I'm not going to play the Ultra Gravitron just yet, because that charge, coupled with the Barrister Joya and the General Salvador, is going to kill Succubus and allow me to draw back up to 6. Because if I play Ultra Gravitron, Succubus is staying down and I only draw 5 cards. So yeah, the charge there, coupled with a couple of creatures, has allowed me to get rid of the Succubus and draw back up to 6. We've got the Q-Mex back again, we've got Ultra Gravitron. And we have got the Bumblebird's back. I don't think we're going to get anything out of him, to be fair. But what can happen, we can look at the cards that are in my deck and see what we've got left, because obviously if I play, so Simon's played, what's Simon got for? Simon's still deciding. Yeah, looking at the cards in my deck is going to be quite important, because those are the cards I'm going to archive, as we know that I'm near the bottom of my deck now, and also as well the QMX will draw a card, so it's going to be quite important the order in which I play logos if I go into logos on the next turn, to try and get the most out of the turn in terms of efficiency. So Simon's gone into Untamed. He's played Lupo the Scarred, which has dealt 2 damage to Barrister Joya, and then he's used Ritual of Balance to steal 1 and take me off check. He's played Regrowth to bring back the Witch of the Eye. That, again, we all know how good of a creature that one is. So now it's, do I go for the Untamed and do I go for the Sanctum and deal with the Witch of the Eye right now? Do I go for the Untamed and play an Alpha that's going to do nothing? Or do I put down Ultra Gravitron again? So there we go, we've got It's Coming with a draw icon and Sloppy Lad Work with a draw icon. So if I play QMX, I'm going to draw one of those, I'll play the other one, I'll draw the third one. I can then archive a card and discard a card as well. So I could archive the Untamed creature and then discard the Bumblebird. And then we could throw down Ultra Gravitron and drag cards into archive. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to low logos, play the QMX, draw on Sloppy Lab Work, play Sloppy Lab Work. That's going to draw a card, which is drawing the It's Coming. I'm archiving the Dark Fairy, I'm discarding the Bumblebird. Then I'm going to play It's Coming, which is going to draw another card, which should then refresh the deck and ensure that Ultra Gravitron triggers his archive ability. So there we go, we're going to play that, and obviously we call nothing to hand. And then Ultra Gravitron's getting thrown down again. There we go. And then we've also got a Sloppy Lab Work that he's going to archive, that Seeker of Truth, and that's completely cleared out my hand. And to be fair, I played a lot more than 6 cards there, or at least I've cleared out the hand. I've put 2 in archive, discarded 1, but also played another about 3 cards because of the draw icons. So Simon's gone into this and used the Lash, played down an Eater of the Dead, played down the Charette, and the Lash and the Charette, well, the Charette mainly, but that's taking me off check again. And he's forged his second key at the start of that turn, because again, as I said, not a lot of ammo control in this deck. I'm now down 2 keys to 1, but again, on 5 it's close, and I mean Charette can be gone this turn if I want, so I can reap with Ultra Gravitron, and that's Charette gone. Also as well, the Sloppy Lab Work could allow me to build that archive a bit more. I could play Lethal Logica, and that should find another Logos creature somewhere. One of the Logos creatures we got. Well, it'll certainly find another Logos card. It might actually find another Logos creature, because we've only got the Gravitron, QMX and Munchling. But yeah, going for the Logos. Played Sloppy Lab Work. There we go. And then playing the Lethal Logica, that's drawn the auto encoder. Should have played that first, because then I'd have archived another card off the Sloppy Lab Work. So maybe I could have played that in a better order, although there's no way for me to know that Lethal Logica is going to draw the auto encoder there. So yeah, do I get rid of the Dead, or do I get rid of the Charette when I reap with the Gravitron. So I've got rid of the Bumblebird out of my archive, and I've purged the Charette, which, and then with the Q-Mix as well. I may be behind a key, but now I've just bursted up to 12 there by getting back the 3 amber that Simon had captured, and a bit of reaping and playing cards. So see what Simon does. I mean, the Lash of Broken Dreams is going to make me forge at 9, which is as good as making me lose 3. But Simon's gone for the Sanctum. He's played the Horsemen of Death, played Champion and Affiel, played Bulwark, played Horseman of Pestilence, which has killed the Q-Mex. He's played the Horseman of War, which is going to allow every ready creature on his side of the board to fight this turn. So again, this is going to be a big turn in terms of sweeping up my board and leaving himself in a good position. It's going to be about, can I get this 3rd key? Well, this, I mean, again, he's not stopping me now forging the 2nd key, but can I get the 3rd key before he gets quickly to 6? Because again, as I've said already, very, very little in this deck, amber control wise. So he's put the Eater of the Dead into Barrister Joya, and that has killed the Barrister Joya. And then he's put Lupo into the Ultra Gravitron, and I did forge there. So now it's again, how much amber can I get? Because 6 is not going to be enough because of Ritual of Balance. 9 could be enough, but it would cost me 9 just with the Lash of Broken Dreams, and that's before anything else. Although again, we have purged Shooter, we have purged Charette, so they're not going to be coming back. So I'm thinking, are there any other cards? We have seen Pandemonium, so if he's managed to get that back into his hand, Pandemonium could cut down. So I've gone for the Untamed and I've drawn my archive. I'm going to play Lost in the Woods, and then I'm going to play the Fertility Chant, play the Niffle Ape. I'll play the Dark Fairy first because I'm putting the Dark Fairies in the middle and the Niffle Apes at the side. We know this hasn't got Kaimor Eclipse, but as I said in other games, I always think try and put the least valuable creatures on the flank, because there always seems to be a lot more things that get things that are on the flank than get things that are in the middle. And then I'm playing Lost in the Woods. I'm getting rid of my own General Salvador and my own Niffle Ape. And then I'm just looking at the cards that have got the best play abilities, and I'm going for, the best reap abilities, or the best on the board abilities. So I'm looking at Horsemen of Pestilence, and I've gone for the Bulwark because of the armour it was giving to the neighbours. Looking at the discard pile to see what we can get back with that Resurgence. I mean, I can't play Bumblebird anyway, but I could play the Niffle Ape. Just gets a bit more down on the board. There we go. I'm going to pass the turn, and again, that 11, that is a big number for that Horseman deck, especially when the Charette's been purged, the Shuler's been purged. Yes, there's a Ritual of Balance, but along with that Untamed, you're only getting 1 with that Ritual of Balance and Untamed. You're not going to get a lot of me. The Lash will get rid of 3, but again, you'd still need to you'd need to get it down to 8, which means you need to find another 3 besides the Lash. It's a tough one. So yeah, I think I've got this one. Simon's gone into Untamed, and that's the game. So yeah, after 4 games, Ultra Gravitron's 2-2 with an even record, so that's not too bad. You know, you take that 50% record. The amount of keys forged is 7, so I mean that's not a great number, because it means that the games that have been lost, there's been 1 key forged. 6 keys from 2 wins and 1 other key, so that's not particularly great. I'd like to see better there. And out of 4 games, Ultra Gravitron's been down twice, both of which came from this game. So it's an improvement from Ultra Gravitron. It's a good thing. Glad to have finally seen it go down. Glad to see it win another game. But again, Niffle Kong is matching it for wins, matching it for keys at +1, and matching it for amount of times played, and it's a game behind. So next up is going to be Niffle Kong against the Horsemen deck, and that video should be with you on Thursday. Thanks for watching, so feel free to like and subscribe. I love comments and criticism, so please feel free to leave those. I'll hope to see you next time, but until then, may the forge be with you.